she's already deleted. Colin Powell just proved again how dishonest Hillary Clinton is after he busted her for trying to pin the email scandal on him. One more Hillary Clinton lie. Her foundation took in large payments from major corporations and wealthy individuals, foreign and domestic, and all the while, she was Secretary of State. The Clinton Foundation accepted as much as $60 million from Middle Eastern countries that oppress women, gays, and people of different faiths. The foundation donors included corporations and individuals with significant matters before the State Department. Not good. And then, either Hillary Clinton herself or one of her closest aides took action favorable to these donors. Her actions corrupted and disgraced one of the most important departments of government, indeed, one of only 4 established by the United States Constitution itself. The Clintons made the State Department into the same kind of pay-for-play operation as the Arkansas government was. Now, think of what happened back then. Think about it. And I love the state of Arkansas. We're winning it big, but I'll tell you, they know what went on. They know, and they're not happy. Pay the Clinton Foundation huge sums of money and throw in some big speaking fees for Bill Clinton, and you got to play. You got to do what you wanted to do. It's pretty sad. This is in front of the State Department. This is in front of the State Department. And long before that, you should have seen what they were doing in Arkansas. Same old story, folks. The amounts involved, the favors done, and the significant number of times it was done require an expedited investigation by a special prosecutor immediately. Whitewashed Hillary Clinton's email crimes, they certainly cannot be trusted to quickly or impartially investigate Hillary Clinton's new crimes, which happen all the time. Some former prosecutors have even suggested that the coordination between the pay-for-play State Department and the Clinton Foundation constitute a clear example of RICO racketeering, influence, corrupt organization, enterprise. The Justice Department is required to appoint an independent special prosecutor because it has proven itself to be, really, sadly, a political arm of the White House. Nobody has ever seen anything like this before. The Department of Justice has acted very unethically, particularly the Attorney General's private, lengthy 39-minute meeting in the back of an airplane before the department's decision not to prosecute her for crimes that would have been prosecuted against any other citizen in our country. If the Justice Department fails to do so, it will make it even clearer that a second of 4 primary constitutional departments have been corrupted. It's as simple as that. Every major lawyer, you look, every major lawyer is saying the same thing. They can't believe it happened. They know the facts. They can't believe it happened. The Justice Department and the FBI, they cannot believe what's going on in this country. And other countries are talking about it, and they can't believe what's happening either. Here's one example of Clinton corruption. As Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton signed off on a deal allowing Russians to take an increased stake in a company called Uranium One, giving up control of about 20% of America's uranium supply to the Russians. Wonderful deal. You know what happens to uranium. You all know what happens to uranium. they needed in Russia. Clinton's approval of the deal netted the owners of the uranium company millions and millions of dollars. In exchange for signing off on the deal, some of the former owners of Uranium One gave the Clinton Foundation millions and millions of dollars in donations. In addition, Bill Clinton received over $500,000 for a speech to a Kremlin-backed investment firm that was a beneficiary to the deal. Here is another example of pay for play. In 2009, a company called Ericsson came under U.S. pressure for selling telecom equipment to several oppressive governments, including Sudan, Syria, and Iran. Some of these regimes use those technologies to monitor and control their own people. In June 2011, Hillary Clinton's State Department began adding goods and services to a list that might be covered under expanded sanctions on Iran and other state sponsors of terrorism. During that time, Ericsson sponsored a speech by Bill Clinton, paying him $750,000, his highest paying speech. In April 2012, the Obama administration issued an executive order imposing sanctions on telecom sales to Iran and Syria, but those sanctions did not cover Ericsson's work in Iran. A Trump administration will end the government corruption. No one will be above the law. We will have one set of rules for everyone. In Hillary Clinton's world, we have one set of rules for her and another set of rules for everyone else. I'm fighting for everyone who doesn't have a voice. I will be your voice. We're going to win in a landslide. Hillary Clinton's campaign is funded by Wall Street and hedge fund managers. My campaign is powered by my money, but also by small donations from working people across the nation who want their country back. The average donation last month was about $61. So beautiful to see that. And that doesn't happen often with our Republicans, and that's okay. But I'll tell you, so glad to see it. It's a movement. Folks, it's a movement that's going on. This is a movement. Nothing terrifies the ruling class more than when everybody working, and I mean everybody, and everyday working people, give $5, $10, $15 to a campaign like ours. They are very concerned. They couldn't believe when they saw the numbers. It is, in fact, something very, very special that's happening because it's never really happened like this. Certainly for the Republican Party, it's never happened like this before. We're going to take government away from the special interests that give her tens of millions of dollars so that she can broadcast absolutely phony ads about me. And we're going to give it back to the voters. And by the way, those ads are absolutely phony with the exception of certain little parts. A couple of little things are correct, but we'll get over it.
We love you!
Come November 8th, we are once again going to have a government that serves you and your family and your country, not the special interests of billionaires and the left. We are going to rebuild our depleted military, avoid needless foreign wars, build new friendships overseas, and remember those three famous words: peace through strength. We are going to work with our allies to crush, defeat, and utterly destroy ISIS. We are going to have a new immigration screening test to keep people out of our country who don't support our tolerant values. We are going to have extreme vetting. Remember, extreme vetting. We want people in our country, but we want people that have the ability to love us and respect us. We're also going to reject the bigotry of Hillary Clinton, who sees people of color only as votes and not as human beings worthy of a better future. For 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, and even more than 100 years. They have produced only poverty, failing schools, and broken homes. In the last 8 years, the African-American labor force participation has declined another 3 percentage points, and it's dropped another 6 percentage points for teenagers, and that's already from the most dismal numbers in history. Nearly 4 in 10 African-American children live in poverty. African-American home ownership has declined nearly 10 percentage points from record levels. This is just in the last short while. Also, since 2009, another 2 million Latinos have fallen into poverty. Incomes for Latino workers fell by almost another $1,000 a year, again, by terrible standards. Meanwhile, homicides are up nearly 50% in Washington, D.C., and more than 60% in Baltimore, and up all over the place, no matter where you look. The level of crime in these cities is something no American should consider acceptable.